morning, everyone. Today we will start our next topic of our chapter, Applied Machine Learning for Health Data, and our topic name is Decision Trees and Random Forest. So, what is decision tree? In healthcare, every diagnosis is a decision. Doctors mentally follow if else logic. If fever, if cough, if chest pain, so it is a possible that person got pneumonia. So just like that, our decision tree mimic exactly that behavior but learn from data. So as the name decision tree, so it means that it take decisions basically. And on the basis of that decision, we get our final outcome. So key points are decision trees is equal to just like a flow chart like structure that make decision based on data features. So each question splits data into groups. The goal is to predict the outcome just like diagnosis, treatment, risk, etc. based on the attributes. After that, there is a technical definition of it that decision tree is a supervised machine learning algorithm and it works for both classification and regression tasks, which splits the data into branches using decision rules learned from training data. These are the terms that we have to remember. First of all, there is a root node that is starting point of your tree, internal node that is intermediate decision, leaf node are the final outcomes at the end of your tree, and splitting means dividing data on the basis of some condition. And the pruning means that reducing unnecessary branches basically to avoid the overfitting. And what is overfitting? That our model train at each data point, that is it is overgeneralized, so it will affect the performance and model of our system. So types of decision tree, so there are two types of it, that is classification trees and regression trees. In classification trees, we have a categorical data and we get the output in form of a label just like yes, no, not, spam, spam. And in regression, we have continuous data and we get output in also in the continuous form. Just like predict the price of a house based on the features like size, location and number of our bedrooms. So classification trees output called label and regression trees output are basically continuous values. After that, let's go through the scenario. Doctors think like trees. Visual idea, a tree with branching nodes labeled glucose, BMI or age. So diabetes, yes or no. Imagine a doctor diagnoses the diabetes. She may ask these questions. Is glucose level is high? Is body mass index is above to the normal? Is the patient older than 40? So each answer leads to the conclusion. This is the same structure a decision tree learns. Just like you will see, first of all, it is comparing. This is the root node, these are the intermediate nodes that is in between, and at the end the outcomes are basically the leaf nodes. So glucose greater than 120, if yes, it is checking next condition that body mass index is greater than 25, so it will make it yes. And just like that, if your glucose is not greater than 120, so it will go to no. Age greater than 45, yes, and then it will give you outcomes. After that, how the algorithm learns, what are the steps? So choose the best attribute to split data. And how to choose best attribute to split our data? We use the help of information gain or Gini index. So divide the dataset into the subsets, repeat recursively for each subset, and stop when data becomes pure. That means all have same classes, just like only yes classes, only no classes. And also when tree reaches to the maximum depth, and then the tree keeps asking the most useful question at each level on that gives the maximum clarity about the diagnosis. The stopping criteria is just like that all instances belong to one class, predefined limit on the tree's depth, minimum number of samples required to split in a node, no significant improvement in the information gain. If these conditions go tree just stop it. So assign leaf nodes. Once stopped criteria, that is above stopping criteria, are met, assign the most common class for classification or average value for regression to the leaf node. So for the classification it is giving most common class, and for regression average value basically it will calculate to the leaf node. So what is the pruning in the decision trees? That as we have discussed the overfitting issue, that the model is over generalized, that is over training on the data points. So decision tree can become too complex and overfit the training data, capturing the noise instead of an underlying pattern, that your model is now also fitting on the noisy data points. So pruning reduces the size of tree by removing the sections that provide the little power in the predicting. So it will just reduce the size of your data in order to make better prediction. Types of pruning, and that is pre-pruning and the post-pruning. So in pre-pruning it is early stopping, that stop the tree growth early based on the certain condition. Example, limit the maximum depth of tree, require a number of samples to split a node, minimum number of samples to split a node, set a threshold minimum for minimum information gain. And in post pruning, your tree first of all grow first, and after that you remove the least important branches. And the techniques are just like cost complexity pruning, reduce error. In cost complexity balances the tree complexity with its accuracy, and in reduce error it removes the branches that do not improve the model performance. So if the branches not improve your model performance, so just remove them. On the validation side, after that here is a concept, the formulas that we will apply, that is entropy and information gain. So what is entropy? Because now we want to choose our root node. Root node is a starting point, so the tree itself didn't randomly choose any feature as a root node. It has to be checked to the formulas, and after that it is decide that which feature will be at root node. So at the root node, that is at the top, this one, it is not randomly assigned. Your tree choose the root node, that is starting point, by processing through various levels. So first of all, in order to find that which feature is your root node, so it will calculate the entropy. What is entropy? Entropy is disorderness in your data, uncertainty in your data. And how to calculate it? This is form in front of you. And then information gain calculated. So we discussed these things in the other slides. So think of entropy as confusion. If parents are 50% diabetic and 50% not, so confusion is high. So if they are diabetic, 100% diabetic, so confusion is 0. So entropy is inorderness, disorderness in your data. So let me go through the example so it will be more clear. So now our Here goal is we want to decide the root node, that is a starting criteria. So first of all, in front of you there is a data that is before splitting, that we didn't split here the data. So before splitting we have total patient 8, if you will count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes is 4 times occurring and no is also 4 times occurring. So we just write our data before splitting. That is also called parent node, that nothing splitting is done here. So we calculate probabilities, that is probabilities of these yes and no. As we have discussed before, 4 is yes and 4 for no, and total outcomes is 8 if you count that target column. So 4 by 8 is the probabilities as we are calculating, just like that, 4 by 8 for the yes and 4 by 8 for the no, and we got answer 0.5 0.5. Then we apply the entropy formula, that is minus probability of yes log to probability of yes plus probability of no log to probability of no. So all these things are calculated, we just fitted here, and log to 0.5 is -1. So at this whole place -1 is written, and at the end you got the answer 1. So if the answer is 1 in entropy, so it means that there is very much disorderedness in your system. You have to reduce this uncertainty because it will affect the accuracy of your system. After that we split our data, that is also called child node. So on the basis of glucose high and glucose normal we split the data. So if you see here, for the glucose high, these are the 4 columns in which 3 are yes and 1 is no. So we split one portion here and one portion below of it, this one, that is normal and high, this one. After doing that, what we have done, we know that in the first split, when there is the glucose is high, there is 3 yes and 1 no, and in normal glucose level we have 3 no and 1 yes. So now data is splitted. We will see patient 1 2 3 4 have glucose high and 3 yes and 1 no. So we just put it in the formula, that is 3 divided by the total patients in that is 4 that we have split it. And same we will do here for the child 2. So entropy is calculated separately. Alright, after calculating in separately, you will see our entropy is less as compared to parent node, that is 1. So it means that uncertainty is little bit reduced. After that we have to calculate the weighted entropy. And what is that? It takes the entropy of each child and weight it by proportion of a sample in that child. The sum gives the overall impurity. Now we want to get the overall uncertainty. If we have applied that formula, that is 4 by 8, 4 is the patient in child and 8 is the patient in the parent. Just like that, we have the first entropy of a first child is 0.11, and then again 4 is for patients after splitting, and 8 is overall, and we have 0.11, that is a second child node. If you will want to see, so you will see here are the two child nodes, that is this one and this one. Both got the answer of 0.11. After doing that, we calculate overall split, and you will see now answer is 0.811. What is the information gain? Information gain tells that how much entropy is decreased. In the short way, if we will conclude that information gain is how if we have high information gain of a feature, so it will be root node. Alright, high the information gain of the feature, that feature will be selected as a root node. And how? We calculated entropy minus weighted entropy. Entropy of a parent, that is before split, is 1. After split it is 0.1111 that we have done in that slide, the weighted entropy. So at the end we got information gain 0.189. So what does it mean? Information gain is 0.189. This gives small improvement, because you will see small improvement is done, but we have to see for that feature that have high information gain greater than that thing if there is any other feature, and then processed by the formulas, and at the end you got more greater information gain, so it will be selected as a root node. So information gain just reduces the uncertainty and entropy in your system. This is just asking, that is before splitting. After splitting we got 0.11. After that, how much reduction in confusion in entropy is the information gain? 0.189. So the glucose feature have little bit effect as this thing, that is a little bit affecting and causing the disorderness and basically little bit involved. So the feature glucose high and normal helps but only a little. It little bit help us. A feature with high information gain would be the better question for decision tree. So entropy is a measure of a disorderedness, more mixed, high entropy. Information gain is how much confusion decreases after a split. Parent node is for before splitting and child is after splitting. And T decision tree chooses the feature with the highest information gain. So highest the information gain, this will be selected as a root node. After that, let me go through the code of it. So in that, first of all, we just install the libraries, pandas, and the C entry classifier, then accuracy score for evaluation. Then we have data here, that is features as well as target. After that, we just convert our data in the better way. And here is the independent variable. These one we just separate our x and y is dependent variable. That we have done, we apply our algorithm, and criteria is entropy. It means that it will calculate the information gain as well and entropy as well. So all these things are occurring itself in the code. Maximum depth none means that the stopping criteria is when the all classes are same. Random state is 42. Then we just fit our model. After fitting, we just make it better representation and we will show it. So for now our accuracy is 100%, but the overgeneralization will be done if you will see that if the entropy is there 100%, but in most of the cases our system got overgeneralized, so we have to reduce the data somehow. So this is all about the decision tree. Now in the next session we will move forward toward the random forest.